Hi Mouse! I'm happy that you are here with me today. I'm Athina and today we are going to answer the question, what do you need to focus on? For my part, I have trouble focusing on just one thing. So I thought that maybe you are struggling with the same thing, and this may be some type of advice or something that you can focus on for the time being. And today we are also doing something really different because I'm a huge fan of Rebecca Campbells Oracle decks and also her books. So today I will be only doing oracle cards, and her books I will be using as a book divination. The books are, oops, sorry, I bumped into you. Letters to a Starseed and Light is the New Black. These two books will be at the end of every group, and I also will be using all three oracle decks in all three groups, but I will start with the representational oracle deck for the group you will be choosing. And this is not sponsored by her at all, it's just that I am a huge fan of hers and I really love the cards and the books, so I've got this idea and now I'm doing this and I'm looking really forward to it. So now presenting you the first group. The first group will start with the Starseed Oracle. Pick a random card. And your crystal is a newly bought red garnet. I don't know why, but the stone that I got had already some cracks on it, and I don't know why, but it looks to me like it is a rose. So group 2, you've got the Rose Oracle and your random card to represent. And your stone is a moonstone. I think it will be, the name will be Peachy Moonstone, but I'm not sure. It is a moonstone. And you have even the moon here in the background of the card. Wow. And the third group will start with the Work Your Light Oracle. And the random card is this one here. Ooh. And as a stone you have this amber piece. So now for you to be able to choose the correct group, I want you all to close your eyes and take with me 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you are clairvoyant, you can open up your eyes and choose the group that you are drawn the most. And for our clairaudient, I will say the number of the group, so you can choose the number that strikes to you. And if either none of these two works, you can still go to the timestamps and choose the time that has maybe your lucky number or a number that you are seeing often. And this is also a way to choose. Or you can even choose from a random number generator. So I will start for the clairaudience. Group 1. Group 2, Group 3. I will repeat. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. If this was too fast for you, you can pause the video and take your time in choosing your groups, or you can go back to the selection of the group so that you can do everything a second time or a third time, as long as you need it. And I will be seeing you at your groups. Bye! Hi, group number 1. You chose the Starseed Oracle, the Garnet, or any other things. And I will be starting with the Starseed Oracle, then I will go to the Rose Oracle and the final Work Your Light Oracle cards, and then you will get messages from all 2 books as book divination, so you may lean back and enjoy the ride. So what does group number 1 need to focus on? What does group number 1 need to focus on? What does group number 1 need to focus on? What will be the best thing for group number 1 to focus on right now when they are seeing this video? What does group number 1 need to focus on? What does group number 1 need to focus right now? What will be the best for group number 1 to focus on right now when they are seeing this video? Please, Spirit Guides, what should group number 1 focus on right now when they are seeing this video? What does group number 1 need to focus on? Yeah, you've got all your cards. Nope. So your first card is Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song frequency of sound diving deep. Your second card is Activated Earth. Power places, ley lines, trust where you are led. The third card is In the Golden Children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And your last card is A New Earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Okay. So for your first card, Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song frequency of sound diving deep. This card talks about that everyone has their unique frequency, unique sound, a unique way of being. And that you may also have hidden yourself, your authentic truth behind the mask, and that it is okay for you to share your song, share your voice, or share your truth by being your authentic self, like telling others the truth, the thing that you want to say, not holding it back or saying something different. Yeah, this is a card that I normally don't get for myself, so this is more or less a summary of what I think this card means, but I will be looking at the guidebook because there is something that is calling my attention, and I don't know what this will mean. It's the frequency of sound part of the card. So let's see what the guidebook says. The Whale and Orca Elders are benevolent cosmic beings here to anchor a frequency of love onto the planet, to harmonize it with their song. As they weave around the oceans, they do so much more than any of us know. Their physical presence affects Earth's magnetic field, and their harmonics call us to wake up and remember our own soul's song. Looking into the eye of a whale is something you'll never forget. Whales see into your very being, and in an instant you're changed forever. They see beyond the physical, the woundings, the identity, the personality, the story. They see right into your soul. If you pull this card, you're being called to surrender to your deepest truth and share it with potency. To bow to who you truly are. To stretch your heart wide enough to hold it all. To leave your fears, doubts, and baggage at the door. To question any part of you that doesn't feel good enough. The Whale and Orca elders want you to give others the privilege of seeing who you truly are, and for you to see the same in other beings. To drop your hang-ups and personality flaws and get busy revealing the unique note your soul came here to sing. Allow the song that echoes in the 4 chambers of your heart to emanate in all 4 directions. Peel back the layers of suffering and pain and reveal to others your soul's true song, and endeavor to see the soul of all those you meet. Something you may want to meditate on is the Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to share your soul's unique song? Well, what I'm getting is that this card is encouraging you to do something that makes you share your voice in either way. It can be in a creative way, like painting, writing a story. It can also be just you being yourself when you are at work, or like I'm doing, creating videos where you talk about the things that light you up and makes you happy, and share yourself in this kind of way. Let me drink some water. The second card you've got is Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Lines, Trust Where You Are Led. This card is all about power places here on Earth that have a really big energy around them. Like on the picture here, you can see something that reminds you of Stonehenge. The pyramids are also is also a place that has big energy. So maybe you are being called to travel to a place that has this big energy, or if you are not able to travel, it is also possible to see a video or a documentary about this place, or read about this place and get curious about it. These places are all connected with lines, so you may be in a place that has a smaller line where there is also energy going through, because everywhere there is an energy line, and in these big places the energy is accumulated and a bit stronger. And this card is encouraging you to either travel there, get to know this place by watching documentaries or reading books about it, and just trust where you are being brought to. Maybe you don't need to go to a place like Stonehenge, the pyramids, or any other places. Maybe it's just saying for you to go to a mountain or another place to travel, because your energy has a unique frequency to it, like I told in the first card, and the energy of yourself vibrates, and also the energy of the earth lines vibrates, and when you come in contact, your energy comes in contact with it, something can be activated. Earth or also in yourself. So if you are feeling like this constant thing about going to a specific place, maybe try to go there. Then the third card you've got is the Golden Children. In a child's tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Maybe if you came out of contact with your inner child, and this card is saying for you to reconnect with your inner child. This can be done in multiple ways, like writing your inner child a letter. Imagine how your inner child would respond to you. Maybe you can even talk to your inner child, imagine a version of yourself as a child, and you talk to it. Maybe there are some wounds that you've got from your when you were a child that needs to be healing because your inner child is still suffering from it. And also this is also a card that says that going back to this inner child energy of looking at everything with a curious eyes, questioning what it is, how it works, and being this innocent. Because by tapping again into this energy of your inner child, you can also tap into gifts that you've had that you don't know about it anymore because you stopped doing the things you did as an inner child. Or some new gifts can be activated. This is different for everyone. It can be a talent for maybe music, like playing an instrument you did as a child, and you get this feeling of going back and relearn it, and you see that because you think you've forgotten how to play it, but your body still remembers how to do it, so you will get into it easier than as beginning from the start again. This can also be other psychic gifts, like clairaudience, clear hearing, you hearing messages, clairvoyance, seeing images in your third eye, clear cognizance, clear knowing, you just know what is going to happen, clear sentient, you feel things around you, the energy. It can also be clear empathy, like you feeling the feelings of other people as your own, like being an empath. Seeing, hearing, knowing, feeling. And then there is one I can pronounce that is clear tasting, like you taste in your mouth without eating something that reminds you of something, like having a sweet candy as a child, and you are going on your life and then you taste it again, this thing in your mouth, even though nothing's there. And there is also clear smelling, like you are at a place that has a neutral smell and you start to smell something. For example, I don't have this ability, clear tasting nor clear smelling. And my clairvoyance is also a bit on the smaller side, so I'm more of an empath and I feel the energy and I just know what I need to do and say. Sometimes I hear music. Music can also be something that keeps repeating in your head as that may be a message. So back to the point. So with the last card, a new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. You came to this planet Earth to do something important, to help humanity and Earth in some kind of way to raise the frequency. If you are doing the work on yourself to raise your own vibration, you are also helping other people to raise their own vibration and helping Earth to this new vibration, so a new Earth can start. It's like the new beginning. Or you may be also having a vision of something that you want to do, and this is a clear sign for you to keep holding this vision of doing this, going after it with baby steps. And I feel that I need to read the guidebook for this card as well. Oops. New Earth here. A new Earth. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds, dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You choose to be here to be part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep, for if you do in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. And your Starseed Soul Inquiry is for you to meditate on, maybe. How can you keep holding the vision? By the way, while I was reading, there was a part where I felt little goosebumps. I think it was, the road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that you've been working toward for so long is almost here. So, and with that being said, we finished the Starseed Oracle. Now let's go to the Rose Oracle. What does group number 1 need to focus on? What should group number 1 focus on right now when they are seeing this video? What should group number 1 focus on? What should group number 1 focus on right now? Please, Spirit. What should group number 1 focus on right now? What should group number 1 focus on right now? Please, Spirit guides. What should group number 1 focus on right now when they are seeing this video? What can they focus on? What should they focus on? What messages do you have for group number 1? What should group number 1 focus on? What can group number 1 focus on right now? What messages do you have for group number 1 now? I think that is for this deck. The Rose Garden. Innocence, you have 2 times innocence in 2 different cards and decks. Innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. Yeah, maybe also relating to the inner child because of the innocence. maybe you are too harsh on yourself, talking harshly to yourself by, I'm not doing this right, I'm not, now I wanted to do this and now I'm not doing it, I am bad, and etc, etc. No. Be gentle with yourself. Sometimes you just can't do certain things because you are tired, you're not feeling it, because at certain times when you're not feeling it because it is not the right time yet to do it. So you will feel restless when the time is right for you to do this, or whatever. Also, try to forgive yourself when you are thinking about that you are not being able to do something. It is not easy living here. This is true. Sometimes there are certain things that happen that can put you in a bad mood, but don't let it out on yourself. Take your time, be gentle with yourself. And since this deck is new to me, I don't know more about it, so I will be reading again the Rose Garden. You're holy and whole. You're innocent and innately good. You're wholly welcome here. You never got kicked out of the garden. None of us did. This card delivers a message of welcomeness, of returning to our innocence. If you feel as if you've done something wrong without knowing what you've done, if you feel ashamed about hurting someone, if you're finding it hard to forgive yourself, this card is gently calling you to release any shame, judgment, or bad feelings. To do what you need to do to let go and make amends. To remember that you're human, and as a human, you're here to learn and grow, and so is everyone else. You're not broken, you never were. You're a work in progress. We all are. You're learning and unlearning. Goosebumps? We all are. Be gentle with yourself, and in turn, be gentle with others. Return to your humanity, your humanness. Remember that you were never perfect, and being human isn't about perfection. Grow and learn, but do it softly. You have goodness in you. Remember that. Cherish that, and cherish that in others too. We're all doing the best we can. When we learn, we can choose to do something new. Commit to learning and doing better each and every day. This is what it means to be a human, to embrace our humanness. Without it, we deny the shadow, and it's through facing the shadow without defense that we can learn and grow. Embrace your humanity, and you'll find it easier to embrace others and the whole world. Soul inquiry, something you can meditate on. How can you be more gentle with yourself? By the way, the number of this page is 111. Maybe you're seeing this number often. Maybe this can be a reminder for yourself to be gentle. Let me take a sip of water. And go to the next Oracle deck. What does group number 1 need to focus on? What are the messages does group number 1 need to know? What does group number 1 need to know? Nah, that's too many cards. What does no? I have 2 cards. No more. 2 more. This one. What does group number 1 need to focus on? Any other? Yeah. Thank you. That's the right amount of cards. So, first one is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. The second one is Inner Temple. The third one is Trust the Eagle. And the last card is Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Wow. where are you being called to journey to? I'm just being reminded of the activated earth. Trust where you are led. This card is all about this feeling of there is somewhere you are being called to go, a path that you need to go. So where are you wanting to go? What is this feeling you have that is niggling you to go to this place? Maybe trust in it and follow it. But now I will go from card to card. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the land, laying foundations, divine plan. This card talks about Anna. She's said to be the grandmother of Christ consciousness, not the part of the consciousness, Christ consciousness that churches may claim to be. Not that I'm blaming them, they are just trying to do what they came here on to do. So if you don't like and can't stand this, then you can just ignore this. But yeah, she was the person that put the foundations of this consciousness. And this card is also telling you that there is something that you came here because of a plan, because you decided to come here to do something on earth, to learn, to grow. You are being called with this card to seed the light, to plant the foundations of this thing. It may be a new project, an idea that is completely new, that Earth or humans don't know about it, and you are here because you were chosen to do this and lead. So you're being called to put in the foundations and work up. Then inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. This card is all about having a practice that you can do every day and be devotional about it. Like meditating every day for 5 minutes. It doesn't even have to be 5 minutes, it can be 2 minutes. It doesn't even have to be meditations. Maybe you are a tarot reader or you have oracle cards because you don't want reading tarot, whatever. Maybe pulling a card every day that you keep in mind for doing in following throughout the day, or maybe pulling cards for the week so that you can have always this one day where you spend time for yourself and connect with your heart. Yeah, this is, and trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Didn't I say to you that you will be feeling restless when you are meant to do something? This is the niggle. This is the feeling that will be knocking every time on your door and say, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. You will be feeling restless. You will have this idea always in your mind till you do it. So trust in this feeling and go for it when it comes. I don't know why, but when I said knocking on the door, I got reminded about knocking on heaven's door. So maybe this song is important for you, or maybe you want to listen to it. I just got reminded about this, so yeah, I'm throwing this out. And Invarama is like the card on the Starseed Oracle, that there is a place that you are being called to. It may not be even physical. It can also be something that you need to do, like a project, doing this project. And so where do you want to be? What is this feeling trying to tell you? And trust that this is all planned. This was all planned before you incarnated on Earth. And you are never going to be on the wrong path. Even if you feel like you are on the wrong path, you are not, because you are meant to go through this so that you can come, that you will come to reach the goal at the end. There may be twists and turns and everything. The path is not an easy one. And now I got reminded of a German song. Dieser Weg wird kein leichter sein, dieser Weg wird steinig und schwer. The path is not an easy one. This path has stones and is difficult, roughly translated, meaning that, yeah, the path may be difficult at times, but just trust in the process. The good things will come if you keep following this path that you came here to walk on, because you will never choose wrong. Everything you've chosen until now was part of the plan. You may think that it wasn't, but it was every time. So now I'm going to drink water so that we can go to the book divination part. So I will start with The Light is the New Black, and I will put the intention on this book for a message for everyone of group number 1 that need to hear, what they need to focus on, or any other messages that might be helpful on the path of group number 1. Whatever page I will land on will be your message. You've got face, then Nick. Yeah. Let's use this as a book thing. No, jokes aside. But yeah, you've got the chapter exactly as a card. Well, there is a message for you. Okay, I will read it for you. That's a good one. Face the niggle. That niggling feeling, that annoying niggling feeling, that inconvenient annoying niggling feeling. Try as you might, it's there, and it ain't going anywhere. I spent years ignoring niggling feelings, throwing my best dollops of stubbornness, ego, sorry, I can't pronounce this word. Rationalization, I think, and numbing out at them. It's exhausting, and until you face it, life just throws you more bait to awaken the nigger, to draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. Face the nigger now. The nigger is your soul tugging at your sleeve, doing its best to get your attention before it has to turn up the heat. Listen now. If you don't face the nigger, the universe will throw something in your path. And then you will regret that you didn't answer the nigger in the first place. Lol. And work your light. What is your niggling feeling trying to tell you? Who are you here to be? And then also follow your intuition, especially when it doesn't make sense. So you've got a wonderful passage from The Light is the New Black book. That's really awesome how this works. So now a a message from the letters to a starseed. I put the intention on this book for group number 1 to hear any messages that they might need to know right now, something that they need to focus on any other messages that group number 1 needs to hear right now. So wherever I will land on will be your message. That's a long one. That is a long one. Well, that's an attunement even. Okay, well, I will read this whole thing. The Akashic Records. One way to access your soul biography or begin to remember information about it is through connecting to the Akashic Records. Early on in my career, I trained in working with Akashic Records, and through connecting to them, I supported my clients. I still use this connection in my own soul work, albeit in a less structured way. The concept of the Akashic Records, as known as the Book of Life or the Great Library, describes a non-physical, multi-dimensional collection of every thought and piece of information that ever was, is, or will be. Many ancient traditions refer to the Akashic Records as a great temple or library in the sky. And within this great library, we can find our personal soul book, which documents all of our past lives, current realities, and even future possibilities. In his book Edgar Cayce on the Akashic Records, Kevin Taldeschi writes that Cayce, a 20th century American mystic, suggested that information about these Akashic Records, this Book of Life, can be found in folklore, in myth, and throughout the Old and New Testaments. It's traceable at least as far back as the Semitic peoples and includes the Arabs, the Assyrians, the Phoenicians, the Babylonians, and the Hebrews. Sorry if I butchered any of these words. Among each of these peoples was the belief that there is in existence some kind of celestial tablets which contain the history of humankind as well as all manner of spiritual information. The Akashic Records are referenced in both Western and Eastern mythology. The term Akashic comes from the Sanskrit word Akasha, which means boundless time and space. Goosebumps. In working with the concept of the Akashic Records and our own personal soul book, we're able to access information relating to the history of our soul in this moment and our soul in the future. While many people in spiritual circles refer to the Akashic Records as existing in the fifth dimension, in Akasha, and say that it's through journeying to these different dimensions that we can access this information, I personally believe once we connected with the Akashic Records, we can access them at any time in a way that's similar to connecting with our intuition. Accessing the Akashic Records. As with any soul work, I personally believe that it's important to access the Akashic Records with deep discernment and energetic clarity. Always open sacred space before you access the Akashic Records, and close the sacred space when you're finished, as it can become energetically draining to be connected to all of that information. Described below is how I open and close sacred soul space before and after doing energetic or devotional work. Opening and closing sacred soul space. To open sacred soul space, simply bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart. Knowing that your palms are connected to your heart chakra, take a breath inward here and imagine your heart opening. I like to imagine a beautiful rose of flower opening in my heart space and opening more with every new breath. In the center of the rose of flower, imagine a light. Inextinguishable. This is your soul, your ancient self, the part of you that's connected to the wisdom of the life itself. Next, allow your hands to travel upward in prayer above your head. Let them stretch out and travel around your body, and then back to prayer. As you do, imagine the beautiful rose of flower opening all around you, and the wise light of your soul growing bigger and bigger until it envelops all of you in a sphere. To close sacred soul space when you're finished, simply do the same thing but in reverse, starting at your heart with your hands in prayer position. Let them travel down to your root chakra and then gather the sacred soul cloak of light around your body with your hands, meeting in prayer just above your head. Next, let your hands drop down into prayer in front of your heart and have a moment of gratitude with your own soul. Think of this process of opening and closing sacred soul space as opening a door when you arrive and then closing it once you're ready to leave, tapping in and tapping out. If you're accessing the Akashic Records yourself, I recommend connecting with and working with your Akashic Records guide. You'll have an opportunity to connect with your personal Akashic Records guide in the Attaunment I share on the next page. You can record yourself speaking the Attaunment out loud or visit www.letters to a Starseed written in small letters and everything together .com to download the guide version of it. Or you, if you want, you can listen to me saying this and use my own voice for this Akashic Records Attaunment. So I will be reading this in a bit. Moment. Okay. I will be reading the Akashic Records Attaunment. During this attunement and journey, your body will remain safe, supported and grounded as we invite your soul to journey to and from the Akashic Records. Lying down or sitting upright with your spine straight. Begin to get really comfortable. Gently close your eyes. Invite your body to enter a state of deep healing and replenishment. Begin to feel the presence of a circle of light around your body, protecting it and inviting it to enter a state of deep healing during this journey. As you bring your hands up and around and back to your heart, imagine that beautiful flower and imagine that flower opening petal by petal. In the middle of the flower is a light representing your soul, your ancient self that's traveled from lifetime to lifetime and beyond. It is connected to all of life. This part of you has wisdom beyond your years and knows exactly why you came here now. As I count down from 5 to 1, I invite you to begin traveling through the portal of your heart to your inner temple. Your inner temple is the access point to your inner guidance, through which we'll be traveling to the Akashic Records. 5, 4, 3, traveling through the portal of your heart to your inner temple. 2, 1. You now find yourself standing at the steps of your inner temple, looking up and being met by your inner temple guide and guardian. You walk up the steps and your inner temple guide and guardian opens the door and welcomes you to step inside. Crossing the threshold, you see a golden cord anchored in the very center of your inner temple, leading to a beautiful golden staircase on the other side of the inner temple. Your inner temple guide and guardian invites you to follow this golden cord, this golden thread toward the staircase. and together you start to climb the staircase to the 5th dimension, to Akasha, where the Great Hall of Records resides. Steadily you climb up and up and up through all of the dimensions, through time and space, to the 5th dimension, to Akasha, the great library in the sky. The infinite library of everything in the entire universe, where all information of the past, present and future is available for you to tap into, where Kairos time, timeless time, soul time, wisdom time reigns. When you reach the top of the staircase, you and your inner temple guide and guardian follow the golden code to the great library in the sky, the Akashic records. You begin walking up the steps of this great library, this great place of records of all time and eternity, where you're met by your very own Akashic records guide. Your Akashic Records guide welcomes you to the Akashic Records and opens the door and leads you into the Great Hall of Records. As you begin to make your way down the Hall of Records, you notice there are so many books. All these books filled with information documenting all the things that have ever happened, are happening, or ever will happen. These sacred ancient books being updated every single moment, ever changing as life is being lived and written and updated every moment of every day, as each individual soul weaves in and out of their lives and sings the unique song for another day. Your Akashic Records guide then leads you to a wing of the Hall of Records where your own soul book resides. You look around and see billions and billions and billions of books, each containing the unique records of each individual soul that ever was. Your Akashic Records guide then leads you to a section of the shelf and reaches out for a unique book, which you realize is your soul book, the book of your soul, the book that contains all the information of who you are as a soul, your past, present and future life experiences, and everything in between. This book contains all of the lifetimes you ever lived, all of your soul gifts, all of your life lessons, your growth, your triumphs, your trainings, absolutely everything in existence of you. Your Akashic Records guide now invites you to take a seat and to hold your soul book in your hands. Your Akashic Records guide invites you to place your hands directly on top of the book and to breathe in the ancient nature of who you truly are. You take a moment to drink in your soul book. What do the pages feel like? You run your hands over the front cover of your soul book and notice the color, the texture, and the materials from which it's made. You notice any details. What's written on the spine? Is anything written on the front page? Is anything written on the cover? How thick is it? Your Akashic Records guide invites you to notice how old the book is, and with your hands and your palms being extensions of your heart, you ask the book, what information do you have that is supportive for me right now and is in the highest good of all? What message do I most need to remember? How can I commit more to my current incarnation? What will help my soul to come all the way into my current life? Your Akashic Records guide invites you to flick through the pages very briefly to feel and notice the texture of the pages, to smell and to drink in with your senses and even more of this book that documents who you are as a soul. Knowing that you've connected with your soul book and that you now know the way to it through the great library in the great hall and to Akasha, your Akashic Records guide takes the book and places it back on the shelf. Your Akashic Records guide escorts you out of this section of the library, and you retrace your steps down the hall of records, past the billions and billions and billions of books. Feel how familiar this place feels. Your Akashic Records guides reminds you that you now know how to journey here, and tells you to return when you want to check in for guidance of the highest good of all. Your Akashic Records guide leads you out through the door of the Great Library of Akasha, down the steps where you're reunited with your own inner temple guide and guardian. You follow the golden thread with your inner temple guide and guardian back to the golden staircase. Down, down, down you climb through time and space and different dimensions back to your body and through the portal of your heart. When you reach the bottom of the staircase, you find yourself back in your inner temple, following the golden thread that led you to Akasha, retracing your steps. Now you know the way. You can return here whenever you like. Your inner temple guide and guardian leads you out of your inner temple, closing the door behind you. As I count down from 5 to 1, you'll find yourself traveling back to your body, through the portal of your heart, back into the present moment and the room that you're in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very slowly opening your eyes and coming back to the room, transitioning from Kairos time to Chronos time. If you feel called, find a notebook and pen and write about anything you remember from your experience. This could include any visuals, feelings, whispers, information, or knowings. You may even like to draw any visions you received. Remember that everyone receives information differently, so trust your experience and stay open to receiving more as time goes on. It's important for us to look at our past life experiences with compassion, acknowledging that being on Earth can be extremely challenging because of the density of the energy and the polarity that exists. If you're generally called to do soul work, such as remembering past life, it's important to take the soul work seriously by ensuring you're energetically safe and held by a skilled practitioner if you feel you need that holding. This was a beautiful message and long as well. Even I felt this serenity surrounding myself while I was reading the Attaunment. So I hope this helped you out, and I hope this gave you some clarity in what you need to focus on right now. And I'm glad you were here with me till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hi, pile number 2. You chose the Moonstone, and the first deck is the Rose Oracle, and this will be your reading on what you need to focus on right now. What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? What will be the best thing for pile number 2 to focus on right now? What does pile 2 need to know about their focus right now? What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? Please, Spirit Guide. What does pile 2 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? When you click upon this video, please, Spirit Guide, what does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? What does pile 2 need to focus on right now? So, your first card is Release the Petals, Transformation. Your second card is Temple of the Rose. Your third card is Come to Me, And your last card is the second bloom. So I have to be sincere, this the Rose Oracle deck is the newest Oracle deck that I got, so I may not know every single card yet, so I may be going more to the guidebook. So the first card is Release the Petals, Transformation, Death and Rebirth, Shedding, all change. Maybe you are going through a transformation right now, something in you, not literal, but something is dying so that something new can be born. This card is like the equivalent of the death card in tarot. It does not mean death. It's just that things are changing right now. You may be in a transformation period. So you are changing yourself, maybe some limiting beliefs that you had, you're trying to change this, or you're trying to change some of your habits, maybe changing your routine is something that's coming to my mind as an example. But Release the Petals, it's like maybe you are not releasing this for it to change, meaning that you may be holding on to it still, and this card is saying that you just need to let it go. Even if you don't want it to change, sometimes it is for the best if you let go of it. Your second card is Temple of the Rose, Ancient Power, Expression, Activation, Scarlet Coat. Well, I have to be sincere, I don't have any idea what this card means. So I will go to the guidebook and read for you what this card means. Temple of the Rose. For millennia, feminine power, expression and wisdom have been suppressed. As a result, the feminine has been silenced, dismissed and disrespected. We've become disconnected from the earth, the mother, and have stopped revering our elders. Sorry, I may have butchered this word. But times are finally changing and we are all part of this change. More changing. Every time we honor our body, express our wisdom, share our voice, and connect with our sensuality, we heal the sacred thread of the feminine. Every time we call back our power, we heal the sacred thread of the feminine. Every time we come together in a circle, we heal the sacred thread of the feminine. Every time we honor our cyclic nature and the cycles of nature, we heal the sacred thread of the feminine. Regardless of which gender you identify with, if any. This is a card of calling back your power. It's a card of expressing your truth, no matter what it is. It's a card of sharing your voice, your soul's voice, and singing the song that you came here to sing. This is a card of activation. It's a call to action, and it's a remembrance. You're the child of the ancient goddess. As you express yourself, you express for all who could not. As you reclaim your power, you do so for all those who cannot. Each shackle you break through, you free those who are yet to come. Share your voice, sing your song, dance your dance, reclaim your power. This is what you came here for. And always in Rebecca Campbells decks, there is a soul inquiry where you can, where there is a question you can meditate upon and think about. So the question in this soul inquiry is, how are you being called to call back your power, express your truth, or honor the cyclic nature within? This card reminds me a little bit of the card I got for pile number 1, but in the Starseed there is a card, what is it, the Orca Elders, where there is also the phrase, you should sing your song, and that card is also all about sharing your voice, sharing your truth, sharing your wisdom, and being your authentic self. So maybe this change that you are going through right now is a change for you to step into your power, to your authentic self again. Then your third card is that this may be something that you, hold on, this is maybe something that you should focus on, transforming yourself so that you can be in your power, in your authentic self, so that you can express yourself and tell the truth about what you think, sharing your wisdom. Then the next card, come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. And we were talking, the guidebook was talking about the feminine energy everyone has in them, even if you don't identify as a feminine in gender, or even if you don't have any genders. And the feminine energy is like this receiving energy. You know that you will receive the fruits of your labor. You are not putting in the work to get something out of it. The feminine energy is more like you are waiting for it to come to you. And attracting like a rose, and now that I'm seeing there is a bee here, and the rose attracts bees because of their sweet scent, so that the bees, and now I'm seeing also colibris, the sweet scent of the flower attracts the animals to go there, so that the bee can take on the nectar and the pollen, so that it can go to other roses and mix it together. So like it is the way how roses and other plants as well, other flowers, how do you say it in a way that is okay for YouTube, to multiply themselves, because they can't move, so that they can multiply themselves by themselves. They need someone to help them. And colibri, they fly to the flowers so that they can pick the nectar, and I think they are attracted by the sweet scent of the flowers, so that they can feed themselves of it. And abundance, well, it is a way of receiving abundance, and your desires are also coming into you. This is what I get from this card, but I'm not sure because I never got this card for myself, so I have to check on the guidebook again. Come to me. Have you ever noticed how in summer, when the roses are are at their fullest and their skin is hanging in the air, bees and other pollinators suddenly appear. Pollination happens when pollen from one plant mixes with pollen from another or is transferred from the stigma of one flower to the stigma of another. Yeah, I didn't even had to explain it. I should only read the guidebook from now on. Roses don't go running all over the place, reaching and grabbing. Rather, they rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bee. It's never grasping or overstretching. It embraces what it is fully and allows life to come to it. It receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blooms regardless. This card is about receiving abundance, rose style. It's an invitation to receive the sweetness of your life, to embrace the magnificence of who you are, and also to open yourself up to the possibility of receiving what you yearn for deeply. To be clear on what you desire, to trust that all that's meant for you wants to come to you, to state your desires out loud and let your yearnings be known, to ask for what you desire. Don't reach or grasp, don't strive, control or manipulate. That will leave you exhausted, parched and brittle. This card delivers the message that true, sustainable abundance is coming. Connect with your sensual, true nature. Be unashamed of what you desire, and when it comes, relish each minute. Soul inquiry for you to meditate on. What do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive? How can you attract like a flower? I think this pile is like focusing on yourself and what you want to attract and stepping into your own power. Yeah. And your last card from this deck is Second Bloom, a second chance. It's never too late, new possibilities. This card talks all about that it's never too late to go and English, where are you? Let's start again. So this card is all about how it's never too late for you to do what you desire, to go after the things that you want, or the things that make you happy. It's like this card is a sign of giving you a second chance to pursue whatever that you want, whatever you desire, and receive it. And that the second bloom is like you are blooming again for the second time to do these things, because sometimes we are in this phase of we are not ready because we are still is it a knosp in English? I don't know. We are still closed up, the petals, and when we bloom we are this beautiful thing, and you get this second chance to bloom again in this field, in this project, or in this desire you have, and there are new possibilities coming with it. So now we go to the next deck. It will be the Work Your Light Oracle. What does pile number 2 need to focus on? What does pile 2 need to focus on right now when they are clicking onto this video? What does pile 2 need to focus on? Is 1, 2, 3. What does pile 2 need to focus on? Is there anything else that that's too many cards. If then just one more, please, spirit guides. Is there anything else that pile 2 needs to focus on, or should know that they should focus on this right now? Is there anything pile 2 needs to focus on right now? Anything else? This should focus on, I believe it. So 3 cards. So your first card, Pleiades. The second is Keepers of the Earth. And your last card is Dance with Life. The first card is the Pleiades. The Pleiades are a civilization that lives in the, what constellation? I think it is the Pleiadian constellation. So they are a civilization that are a little bit more, how do you say, more advanced than us humans. And some Pleiades are incarnated here on Earth as humans and to help Earth change in vibration, and also help humans change for the better. And there is this double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. It's like with all star seeds, with all souls that also incarnated in other places than Earth. Some came here with a double mission. One of this mission is to raise the vibration of Earth and also raise their own vibration and grow and learn lessons. So this card may be an indication that you are a starseed and are connected to the Pleiades. It can be also that you are here with a double mission as well, or that you are here to raise the vibrations of Earth with yourself as well, and learning your lessons that you came here to learn, and grow as a soul. And yeah, Keepers of, I feel that I need to read the Pleiades because I have to say the guidebook for the card of the Pleiades is a really beautiful message. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raise the vibration. Dedicated to raise the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnated on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at the soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all of the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, and so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. I got a little bit of chills when I was reading you are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at the soul level and raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. So maybe you are already doing the work, and this card is indicating for you to continue focusing on this. And this card has also a work your light transmission that maybe you want to say. Look at this card. Try to imagine that this card is in front of your heart space. And you can either say it or just listen to the transmission. I call upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. So if you want to pause it and say it for yourself here, you can pause it now. This reminds me If you are German speaking, there is a book I highly recommend. It's by Pavlina Clem. She writes a book that is called Die Botschaften von den Pleiadien. It is a book where she channels messages and informations from the Pleiades that are currently with also other civilizations. We don't see them because they are not allowed to come to Earth, to come down to Earth and show themselves to us. They are on their ship above the Earth, flying through and working with everyone that has a connection with the Pleiades, like example with the souls that incarnated in the Pleiadian and have this wisdom of the Pleiades, and also with other starseed that may not have incarnated in Pleiadian, but is also here from another civilization and working, helping to raise the vibration of Earth, and also working on themselves to grow as their soul. And your next card is Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yeah, I also got this kind of, when I was looking at both cards, that you are certainly not doing this alone. There are a lot of other people that are doing their work with the help of the Pleiades or any other civilization, if that's something that resonates more with you. And they are also like your friends and family that stand beside you. Then you are not alone doing this work. There are others beside you, so you should never feel that you are alone, and focus that when you think that you are alone on this earth, that you are not. I am here, and I am trying to do this work as well somehow, and I'm hoping for it to work and for me to help as many as I can, while doing also my work that I need to do for myself so that I can grow. So you are not doing this work alone, and your spirit guides, the Pleiades, are here to help you. And dance with life. Do something to change your energy. I always get this card for myself when I am being stagnant, like I'm not moving my body, and I get this lazy energy, like I have no energy. It's like I'm always tired and the energy just left me. And this card reminds me every time of that I should move my body so the energy can start to flow again, and so that I can be energized again. So maybe something you can do is dancing. This helps me change my energy and be energetic again. If you don't resonate with dancing, you can do any other workouts like running, or even if you are really lazy, you can just go the stairs up and down for some minutes, or just walk around. Also, you can also take a walk outside in nature. This is every time really helpful. You can swim. Now for the people that are in the northern hemisphere, currently when I am filming it is summer, so you can swim. If you are from the southern hemisphere, you may be watching this video in your summer, so you can swim. This is also a possibility to move your energy and get movement into your body so that you can change. Also focus, this is also a part that you need to focus on, maybe doing more sports. This sounds like also a message that I should do more often. And yeah, that's everything from this deck. Now to the last deck, the Starseed deck. Let's see. What does pile number 2 need to focus on right? That's too many cards. Maximum of 4 cards, please. What does pile number 2 need to focus on right now? What can... 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. I got exactly 4 cards. I believe that you maybe... that's the crystal that fell down. I put crystals on my decks. Sometimes, not every time. So you may be my Starseed or group, because the Starseed Oracle was highly active. So let's see. Your first card is You Are Not For Everyone. Your second card is We the Hathors. The third card, Trust the Timing. And the last card, Star Ancestors. Yeah, you do have ancestors from other civilizations that are here helping you. Okay, first card, You Not For Everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Funnily enough, I was even thinking this today about a card having the message of embracing your weirdness. So maybe I was already tapping into your energy without me knowing it. Yeah, you are certainly not for everyone. Not everyone will get you, and that's totally okay. But that's also not means for you to change yourself and hide behind a mask and not be your true authentic self. This card is also indicating that indication that you should focus on facing the things that you want to do. Sorry. Facing your true north, your destiny, the things that you came here on to do, and just being yourself and embracing who you are, and not shying away from it. I don't know why, but this card reminds me of when I was a child. I would take a really thin blanket and bind it on me and make it a cloak and be a magician. So I don't know why I got reminded of this. So maybe this is a message that you are the magician in your life and you can manifest anything you want. Your desires. We got this card here at the pile that you can go and do everything you desire. Yes, and then We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. I have to be sincere. I did get this card for myself sometimes, but I always forget what it means. So, guidebook. What do you say? We the Hathors. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency of femininity. Sorry, I'm butchering this. Femininity. Hope I got it right now. Of creation and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity. To create and surrender to your own creations, to hold and be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the Cosmic Mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can possibly imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receive the overflowing love of the Cosmic Mother, flooding towards you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. And an activation of this card is, imagine this card being held at the center of your heart space. I will read the thing. You can either say it out loud or whisper it. I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved, I'm held. If you want to pause it for you to say it out loud, to whisper it out here, you can pause it now. And this card's guidebook even said of everything that was mentioned before with the femininity of receiving, and it just came full circle. And now I think I don't have to explain more. The guidebook did everything for myself. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Yeah, this reminds me that a lot of Starseeds have the impression that time is running out because they came here to do something really important. They remember that they are here for something really important, and because of that they are always thinking they are running out of time because they need to do this important task. And you are not running out of time. Everything is working accordingly to the plan. And you have to trust in this plan and this time and in this wave that you are currently on. And that's the summary of this card. More is not here. And then the last card you've got is Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom. Look a little deeper. Because you may be my Starseed pile, you have wisdom in your soul that are from other civilizations. The Pleiades may be one of them, and they have greater knowledge than we humans. And even if maybe you are an old soul and incarnated a lot in Earth as well, there are some wisdom that you have where you learned the lessons in your past lives, if you believe in past lives, of course, and all the answers that that you need right now, if you are going to a hard time, is within you. And this card is saying that you should focus on going within and not searching for an answer outside of yourself, because you intuitively know what is best, and you may have something deep down in your soul that is a hidden secret that you know, and the answer was always within yourself, but you were focused on everything else than to come within and see the answer within yourself. So this is also something that you need to focus on. So now I am going to drink some water and also get the first book. Light is the New Black. And I put the intention in this for pile number 2 to receive a message for whatever they need to focus on right now. Any other messages that pile number 2 need to hear right now, that is for their highest good. And I will be stopping somewhere and I will read you the passage here. Ooh, this is going to be deep and long, not so long. Okay, you got the page 41, your soul purpose. There is a quote: "The one thing in life you have to do, be the lighthouse." From Yogi Bhajan. I hope I pronounced this the name correctly. If not, I'm sorry. Rebecca says here in this book, "For as long as I can remember, I was in a rush to grow up and get working on my soul purpose." Time running out, huh? You got this message again from the book. That's the same thing that happened with pile number 1. You got pile number 1 also got a message that was exactly like the card. I love it. When I was little, my favorite question was, where are we going today? Even then, I was searching for the thing that I knew I had to find, eternally looking for the perfect black and white answer to the question, what is my purpose? To be honest, the whole soul purpose thing stressed me out. It felt like a big decision to make, the type that hangs over you until you do it. But I was petrified that I might miss my life or get it wrong. The deeper I got into my career, the more trapped I felt. I searched all corners of the world for the perfect thing for me to do in order to play my part in leaving the world a little brighter with my presence. Spending many years waiting around for a perfectly plotted out, single-minded plan to be miraculously revealed in full and land smack bang on my lap. And when I actually got pretty clear glimpses of what it could be, I longed for some external person to confirm that I had it right and to give me permission to get on with it. I was so in my head, waking up, pondering and questioning all the possible paths, petrified that I might choose the wrong one. I was stuck in action, waiting to be handed the map from the big G himself before I set off along my perfect path. I thought it was all about striving and doing, not being and embodying. Through my own disillusion, time wasting and working with loads of women who felt the same, I have come to the conclusion that our soul purpose comes down to 2 things. This can also be applied for men if you identify as one, or even if you don't have a gender, this is also for you. Just throwing this out here. First, be the light. To be the light, you need to follow the things that light you up, so you can show up in life filled up and whole. You don't need a special job to be the light. In fact, you don't need any job at all. You can be the light in the grocery store. You can be the light while cooking dinner. You can be the light on the world's most boring conference call. You can be the light while updating your Facebook status. You can be the light by being there for a friend or a stranger who needs a smile. Second, be authentically you. There is no perfect path, only a perfectly authentic you, full of contradictions, uniqueness, and gifts. It is your you-ness that allows you truly to light up the world with your presence. Your you-ness is lifetimes in the making. It is your flaws, your quirks, your weirdness, your ancestral history, your gifts, your humor, and your imperfections. Your light and message will come through you regardless of what path you choose. Your authentic self emerges when you follow what lights you up, or in other words, when you do what you love, and then do it in a way that only you can. Our soul is always calling us toward what will light us up. Our ego tries to trick us into thinking that it has to be more complicated. It cannot understand how it could be so simple as following what lights you up. But when we follow what we love over and over again, we stumble upon our calling without even realizing it. When we lose ourselves in the doing, we step out of the way and allow the light to flow through us. And it feels freaking fantastic. I've spent years trying to work out what my purpose is, trying to fit it into a perfect little box with a step-by-step plan before I would even consider taking the leap. I looked at my strengths, listed my gifts, tried to work out the message my soul wanted to share, but I still held back because I couldn't see every single little step along the way. I wanted to know the final destination before I took the first step. All of the possibilities, purposes, and callings would toss and turn in my head, but I was not acting on any one of them. I was waiting by the phone for the universe to call saying, "Hey girl, so this is your purpose." The amount of time I spent pondering whether I should be a writer, an actor, a life coach, a healer, an artist, a director, or a fashion designer is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't matter if I write books, bake cakes, make movies, design cowboy boots, or tap dance on a piano. It doesn't matter if I take photos, do speeches, run a country, teach kids, paint pictures, write comedy, or host a TV show. As long as it lights me up, I will bring my own unique light to everything that I do. The only things that matters is doing the things that light you up over and over again and letting the light shine authentically through you. Follow the trail of things that light you up and lose yourself in the doing. Before long, you will find yourself right in the center of your purpose and the life you are called to live. Then there is a work you light. There are some questions that you may want to meditate on and answer for yourself. Are you waiting for a perfect sign from the universe to tell you what your soul purpose is? What can you lose yourself in because you love doing it so much? Oops. Don't know why, but this page wanted to come out, so I will read it as well. We all just want to be seen, page 84. We all just want to be seen, like really seen, not glanced over and noticed, but for someone to take a moment and really witness the authentic light that flickers just beneath the surface. But we go about our lives bumping into each other and not taking the time to stop and look. The most intimate experience of my life was with a 50-year-old Croatian woman I had known for 5 minutes. I didn't even know her name. We met during a workshop led by Gilliard, voice coach, Claude Stein. We were mostly a room full of strangers, and he instructed us to turn to the person next to us and look deeply into their eyes, like really look into their eyes, and witness the gorgeous soul standing directly in front of us, and at the same time let that person truly see us, the real us, the deeper us, the us that we hadn't shown anyone before. Before long, and without exchanging a word, my gorgeous partner and I began to sob deeply. It was unlike any other experience of my life. Precious, sacred, a gift. It felt as though I was being truly seen for the first time in my life. I was humbled and overwhelmed by the beauty of the person before me, who until that point I hadn't even paused to notice. We carried on like this for 10 minutes. It was one of the best 10 minutes of my life. After the exercise was over, we hugged and looked around the room, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. I found out her name was Sanja, or something along these lines. I don't know how her name is pronounced. And she is now a true friend and part of my mastermind group. This experience has been etched on my heart ever since and made me understand that every human on the planet, no matter how soft or how hard, how open or closed, just wants to be seen, like really seen. The greatest gift we can give another person is to witness truly their being here, to see deeply and acknowledge the sacred soul that dwells within them and is longing to emerge. After this, I came to realize how pretty much every problematic relationship I've ever experienced was a result of either not being seen accurately or not seeing the person accurately. It brought to light how much of my life I'd spent holding back my biggest, truest, most authentic self, while secretly hoping someone else might see it, spot it, name it and call it forward. I'd spent so long keeping my light dimmed, while deep down hoping that someone would acknowledge all of the immense beauty that bubbled just below the surface. It dawned on me that I had spent too many years waiting for acknowledgement and permission for brightness, most exuberant self to emerge. The day marked the beginning of my conscious journey towards seeing the authentic light in other people and shining my own a little more brightly. You have an authentic inner light which has always been there and will never go away, an inner fire that no matter how dark it gets will continue flickering. People can see it just by looking at you. It's that something special that they see. It's that spark, that twinkle in your eyes. Your light is your authentic self, and you were born to shine, not burn. But please don't burn. You can't hide a light. Work your light. Your presence is a gift. Rather than going through the motions, be truly present and let someone truly witness you today. And then you have here, you can't hide a light. So this was for the first book. Now, let us to a Starseed. I put the intention into this book that whatever pile number 2 needs to know, to focus on right now, any messages that they need to hear right now shall be now received. So I will do the same thing with this book, and somewhere where I stop, it's where your message will be. You've got 2. I will read both of them. So, finding our ground. Many of the souls incarnate on Earth right now have been incarnating on Earth for some time, returning over and over again in an attempt to influence this very time we've woken up to. Some have been awakening from their slumber earlier than others, in preparation. Others have been abruptly ripped from their sleep. This time that was long ago predicted is actually here. Today, tomorrow, the day after. These are those days, and we're waking up more and more with each coming one. When you wake up, it can feel disorientating and difficult to find your ground, yet the more grounded you remain during these changing times, the more helpful you'll be. Be dedicated to finding your ground, to calling all parts of you fully here. The calmer you feel, the calmer others will feel around you. The steadier you feel, the steadier others will feel around you. The safer you feel, the safer others will feel around you. At this time of great change, we must work harder than ever to find our ground. Starseed activation. I fully commit to being here. I call all parts of my mind, my body, and my soul to this moment. I show up each and every day to what grounds and calms me. If you want to say it as well, here you can stop it and say it out loud now. So the next one is... Yeah, that's a long one. And I need more water for this. Hang on for a second. Starseed Rose. Yeah, you definitely are my Starseed pilot. I believe that in naming and claiming our soul gifts, discovering the rose, we came here to play, and understanding who we are from a soul perspective, we can feel a deeper sense of relief and purpose in the world. Thus, our quality of life and joy is increased. We are multifaceted beings who have been crafting our soul gifts and who we are for lifetimes. Each of us has a completely unique array of gifts and diverse soul history, and our very own individual path. If we were able to see the qualities from the perspective, we'd never feel as if we are here to compete with those who walk alongside us. From the thousands of souls I've worked with over the years who resonate with having an individual and collective soul mission, I've come to see there are common roles into which starseeds fit and skills they have when it comes to their collective mission. Discovering our role and our soul gifts is so liberating. In my experience, there's nothing more frustrating than feeling called to serve but not being sure how best to do it. We can have many different skills, but we are not here to do it all. We're each completely unique, and the best way to fulfill our purpose in the world is to express that in our lives. This doesn't necessarily mean we need to express our roles or gifts in the traditional sense as a career. We can express them in non-traditional ways too. Because this is a world of polarity, brackets on, and it's through the extremes that we grow the most, brackets closed. Each starseed role has both a positive and a negative. The positive being the gift and the negative being a potential challenge. It is also important to acknowledge that we live in a world of free will and thus have a choice to use our gifts for the highest intention for all and the planet or for our personal gain alone. Below is a list of the roles that I found many starseeds have. I share this not to limit your treasure trove of gifts, but as a process to help you claim them and find clarity and focus in your life. When we were talking about focuses, you'll find information about the soul gift and potential challenges that some starseeds may experience. Because we are multifaceted beings with many gifts to share, we may find we're called to express ourselves in more than one way at different times. First role, activator. The gift. The activator ignites change in the world. They spark shifts in their relationships, community, and the world. The activator can help others be inspired to take granted action. Their presence shifts things. The challenge. Activators are very powerful. So powerful that sometimes their approach is a little harsh for those who are more sensitive or slower to see the big picture. Activators are great at getting the energy for something going, but they may need support in carrying things out. Second role, alchemist. The gift. The alchemists turn all that's stuck, stagnant, and heavy into gold. They're not afraid to go to the depths. They're here to create huge shifts in the world, and their presence alone can do this. Their the deep-sea divers of the world, devoting their lives to polishing the crystal and finding the pearl in the darkness. The alchemist can work through alchemizing. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Their own sufferings into gold. They can then also go on to guide others to do the same through their work and whatever skill they choose to devote their life to, because they've gone to the depths, walked through the fire, and returned to tell the story. They have a capacity to hold people in deep compassion and guide them to do the same. The challenge. Not everyone wants to look into their shadows, and as a result, the alchemist's presence and gift may scare others. They may need to remember to ease others into their unfathomable depths, and to know that not everyone is willing to do the work that they know they can support them in. Because the alchemists must first journey to the depths and walk through the fire, they likely go through a very difficult period in their life in order to do that. This is like a death and a rebirth in order to return with the gold of their gift. Third, the artist. The gift. The artist dreams a new world into being through their creation and the sharing of their unique vision. Their tools may differ from writing to painting, from gardening to cooking, and from decorating to singing, but the artist brings harmony to the world by bringing things together to create beauty and inspiring others to feel and think differently. The challenge. The artist's challenge is to trust in their gift so they can realize it. Gathering the confidence needed to focus on their craft is difficult for some artists, especially if the expression of their gift isn't traditional. The artists must focus on their craft in order to master it, and the creative process is often a solo gig, so they can be lonely while thriving in their creative caves. For this reason, developing a community of others who can support them along their journey, as well as midwives to help support their work in the world, can be important. Birther, the gift. The birther is here to usher in new worlds and ways of doing things. Birthers shift things through channeling new creations, information, systems, or other things that will influence the way the world works. The challenge. The challenge of birthers is that often what they're here to birth is so huge it can be overwhelming. They need to learn to call in support and then allow themselves to be supported in order to birth the new into the world and also birth a new world. Birth requires labor and contraction as well as expansion, and so remembering this can help when going through times of contraction. Challenger, the gift. The challenger sees things differently. They're here to dismantle systems and open people's mind, to ignite and shift things. They may find that they fight over the underdog or a cause that's been overlooked and undeserved. Challengers are here to inspire action and lasting change. They hold the vision for a new world. They Challengers may find it frustrating when the rest of the world can see what they see, and worse, that they do see it but aren't willing to do what it takes to bring about change. They may find it difficult to remain open-minded or patient around those who are closed-minded and unconscious. When their cause is so urgent, it can be difficult for the challenger to remember that everyone has their own unique role to play. Grid worker, the gift. The grid worker is called to particular parts of the planet to be a guardian of the crystalline grid of the Earth. They act as energy workers for the planet and sometimes are conduits for galactic activity too, working with the crystalline grid of the Earth and sending information back and forth like a transmitter. Grid workers can be born in a particular town or city, or they can be caught there to hold a particular frequency on the planet. I've met grid workers who were taxi drivers and had never left a particular town. I've met others who are very consciously called and actively do energetic work with the crystalline grid and power points around the world. The challenge: the grid worker works energetically, and so when the energies are more intense, they may find that they become energetically influenced. Particular places on Earth can be energetically active, and therefore grid workers need a way of letting the energy move through them and take time to clear themselves, so they're not mistakenly carrying anything that isn't theirs. Healer, the gift. Healers see the wholeness in people, things, and situations. It's through holding the vision of wholeness that the other is able to see that too. People enjoy being around balanced healers because they generally feel seen and heard by them, truly witnessed. Healers have huge hearts and a great capacity for compassion and understanding. They often find that people feel safe around them and may find that they share their secrets and truth with them more than with others. The challenge. Because healers see the wholeness in all things, they may find that they fall in love with potential rather than reality. This can express itself in relationships where they fall in love with the potential of a person or a situation rather than the fulfilled reality. Healers often need to work on boundaries, to be clear on whom and how to devote their time, and to recognize that healing cannot happen without the other person. That is to say, it's not them doing the healing, but rather it's holding the other in wholeness and then the other choosing to step into that. Midwife, the gift. Midwives are the support team. They're there to help birthers, artists, challengers, alchemists, visionaries, and activators to create lasting change in the world. Their constant support, holding, and grounded action make it possible for the new worlds to be dreamed into being and lasting change to happen. They're all about grounded action and energetic support, even though they may not realize this what they're doing. Midwives are much more comfortable in the support role than leading the way. The challenge. Because midwives are supporters, it's important that they don't lose themselves or their sense of self by over-serving. In order to create lasting change and be able to do this work in a sustainable way, midwives need to find a way to replenish their own well. Space holder, the gift. The space holder is here to be a holding force in the world. The present alone changes things energetically. They're the ones whose presence encourages and supports others as they find their way through difficult times. The space holder tends to come into people's lives when they need it most to process and step into the next stage of their soul mission. The challenge. Space holders may find it hard to describe what they do, as a lot of their work is done without their realizing it. It's also important that space holders receive support as well as giving it to others. Staying in touch with their body and their feelings is something that's important for space holders in order to ensure they're not continuing to carry things in their body energetically. Visionary, the gift. These are big picture thinkers, visionaries who can see patterns and the shifts needed to usher in a new world. Visionaries are the ones who are here to dream a new world into being. They'll see the way things could be, and can sometimes feel as if they were born before their time, because in a way they're here to create the future through their clear vision. They show people what's possible. The challenge. Because of their ability to see things before they exist, it can be challenging for visionaries to trust their visions, as by their very nature they won't always be welcomed by the masses. This requires faith, so having people who support and encourage their vision is necessary. Visionaries see things clearly, and to them it can be frustrating when others cannot. Soul inquiry. Which of the above do you resonate with the most? You can even feel some resonation. You can even resonate with more than only one. We are multifaceted, so you don't have to put yourself into a box as well. And this was everything I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this helped you for the question what you need to focus on right now. And I hope you liked it, and I see you in the next video. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. You chose the Work Your Light Oracle and the Ember. And this is going to be your reading on what you need to focus on right now. What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now from whenever they click on this video? What does pile 3 need to focus on? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? Please give me at least 2 more cards. What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3? Right, I take this. The Oracle deck was taking its time to give me the cards. You've got 3 cards. So, your first card is Awakening, Energetic Upgrades, a new way of being, integration. I believe that you are currently getting energetic upgrades and awakening into a new way of being. Maybe you are changing some habits or some beliefs that you had are changing, or you are changing your mindset, and now it's time for you to integrate this. Yeah, maybe you sometimes feel like you are flying up. I remember that someone said that they dreamed about starting to hover in the dream, and afterwards she said that this was a message for her being upgraded and awakening to a more powerful version of herself. Maybe it is your intuition that is awakening, because I'm being drawn to the moon, and the moon talks about intuition. It is also the symbol of the emotions, so maybe you are also awakening your emotion and you emotional being, right? Or yeah, not being like emotional state here. Now I've got the right word. With the next card, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Are you trying to hide away who you truly are and trying to dim your light so you can fit into this box of society? Don't worry, I'm not here to scold you or anything. It's just that I know how you feel because I did the same thing. I've dimmed to fit in, so I wasn't my energetic self, nor my happy-go-lucky self. I was an introvert as a kid, but I turned myself into an extrovert as a kid, but I turned myself into an introvert because I was afraid that I wouldn't fit in. And this is bogus because you need to be yourself to find the people that are happy to be with you at the way you are right now. And I have to say, this card is something that I've never got for myself, so I will be reading I will be reading both cards because when I opened right at Awakening, so I take this as a sign that I should read this too for you. Awakening. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with soul people while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering and your soul gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world, or perhaps you are being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following work, your light activation. So, imagine that this card is right in front of your heart center, and I will read up the activation for you. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. If you want to say it out loud as well, you can pause this video. So, now to the card that I initially wanted to read for you. Don't dim to fit in. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are part of the universe, so expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away that they are not for you and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too. or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essential and energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they were likely born under the proviso of I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay, not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. This gives me an example from my own life. When I started this healing journey in 2020, I didn't have any boundaries. I would always say yes, even though I meant no, and I dimmed my light. And now that I am starting to put in clear boundaries, and I am energetically also changing, there are some people that I just don't vibe with anymore because they choose to stay the same, and sometimes even people that you knew for a long time, you may see that there is nothing holding you together anymore, because this is how life goes. Everyone goes their own path, and sometimes you have to part ways because you were never meant to be together for a lifetime. And it's even in the book of Rebecca Campbell, there is a part where she says that there are people that are meant to be here for a moment, for a chapter, or for the whole life. And some people are here only for a chapter or a little moment, and it's okay to let this go and not be bound by it, like the unbound card here. The last card that you got from the Clearaudiant Oracle is releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. You are getting again the past lives things. What I know about past lives memories coming back is from dreams. I once dreamed about a particular part, and you can see and discern which dream are past lives dreams and which are normal dreams by focusing on what you are wearing, because normally you dream about the with the clothes you normally wear in your day-to-day life, but when you are having a past life memory, you will be wearing clothes from that time. So I once dreamt about being in, I think it was Japan, because I was wearing a kimono. It was night time, so I had a lantern in my right arm, and I closed the the wood door behind me with my left arm. And when I was looking down, I saw that I was wearing a kimono, and there was behind me my mother. So I think that my mother and we were together in this past life, and we were wanting to walk the hall down because we needed to go to another room, but we didn't reach the goal because we both were kind of something came in between, a sword. And yeah, I woke up after this death. Oh well. Either way, so like in the guidebook, pay attention to your dreams. Maybe have a dream journal where you write down what you saw, what you heard, and also what you feel, and also try to look at how you feel after you woke up from the dream. Sometimes when you wake up, you are still connected to the other realm, and so you will know if this was a past life dream, a really important dream, or just a normal dream that comes and goes because your brain is also processing your day. And now back to the card, Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So there are some things that patterns that are repeating in this life because you repeated it in your past life as well, and you are here now to break free from this so that you can learn new and grow as a soul. And there are also people that you are connected to in past lives where maybe you did them wrong or they did you wrong, and now in this incarnation you are here to clear this contract and have again as a clean slate. This is all that I'm getting from the Work Your Light Oracle. I will be getting now the Starseed Oracle to get more informations. What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile 3 need to focus on right now? At the moment, pile 3 is seeing this. What do they need to focus on right now? Is there anything else? Good. Perspective. Empathic Starseed. The back of the deck of the Work Your Light Oracle is Starseed. What lights you up? So there are some starseeds in you. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning, and your last card is loosen your grip. So with the first card you need to focus on changing your perspective. None of this matters. Maybe you are worrying about something that is really small, and you keep on repeating this thought pattern, but it is not helping you out in any way. So maybe grounding and coming back to see it from a higher perspective, because everything here has a purpose that is happening in our lives. And with the Earth School, I can see that it may be that this is a life lesson that you need to learn to go through so that you can grow as a soul. So try to not react. Just take a moment to observe and change your perspective. If this is related to another relationship, maybe try to see the situation also from their side, because they may not know what you are thinking and feeling. So maybe you have to communicate a little bit better with them. This is just an example that I'm talking. So with the next card, Empathic Starseed, energetic serenity, absorbing what's not yours. As an empath myself, I know that this card means that you are taking on energies and feelings that are not yours, and that maybe because moment, I'm stumbling up my words. By taking on these feelings and energies from other people, you are maybe feeling down yourself, even though you don't have any reason of feeling down and heavy. It is because you are taking the energies from others. If you live with other people, you are maybe taking their energy. Like you wake up really in a good mood, and then the person you live with, may it be parents, if you live with your parents or your partner, and they are in a bad mood, and they say about it out loud, and this brings you down as well. So don't take this energy as yours, that this is you, this is not you, that's their energy affecting you. And my advice is that every time you feel down or drained, that you should cleanse yourself. I like to use Palo Santo as a smoke cleanse, but I am trying to buy incense for environment reasons. I don't want to harm the trees. And also taking a salt bath. If you live near the beach, maybe go swim in the beach if the weather is good. Or going to nature and ground yourself with your bare feet on the grass, or lying on the grass and asking Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, to take on the energy that is heavy on you, that is not yours, for her to transform it into light again, so that you can just wash off this energy that is not yours. You can also take a shower, and before taking a shower, putting the intention into the water that the water is washing away all the emotions, energies from other people that are not yours and are not doing you any good. I do this oftentimes. Sometimes I forget that I need to cleanse myself. I'm not perfect at all. And I know that I need to do a cleansing bath all 2 weeks, because I can only take so much. So others may just need to take a cleansing bath once a month. I need to do it twice a month, because I live with my parents, so I get the energy from both sides. And also in the apartment, some of the energies from the neighbors can zip in through. And yeah, when you go to out day-to-day life, well, maybe it is something that you need to learn about cleansing yourself and how best you can cleanse yourself. You can even use stones. I have this selenite palm stone that when I don't want to use the Palo Santo, I use this to cleanse myself, like this. I go through every part of my body and ask for the stone to cleanse the energy that is not mine and is not doing me any good. So, now back to the next card: Earth, School, Life Lesson, Soul Growth, Study, Higher Learning. Well, whatever is happening right now, it is a life lesson that you need to learn to go through it, so that you can grow as a soul, to also break free from this pattern that you may have from one of your past lives. It may not even be a pattern from your past life. Maybe it can also be a pattern from your ancestral line that you need to break free from. It has a lot of possibilities, but this situation, what you need to focus on right now is learning from this life lesson, so that you can grow as a soul. Then loosen your grip, coping mechanism, density, addiction, let God in. I know that this card means that you are holding on to something that is not doing any good, because it's a coping mechanism. Maybe it is addiction that doesn't do you any good. And addiction can be anything. You can have an addiction to sweets, chocolate. I am guilty of eating too much sweets. So it doesn't have to be adult stuff and as a type of addiction, but even if it is, if you want and if you know that you need to break free, then please do search for a professional help to get out of this addiction. It is not easy. I never had an addiction in this type of way. I just can say that it is the best way to come out of it is by searching for professional help and maybe going to an anonymous group meeting where you can talk about with people that are going through the same things, and you can share your stories. This can also help you get out of it. But I will read this card because, like I said, I don't get this card often for myself. Basically never once, I think. Loosen your grip. Near cycling beings and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and the seasons. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are so often those we most need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationship, the job, the people pleasing. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part we are most afraid to leave empty, the part we guard and don't let grace into. But by keeping the space covered with something that doesn't serve us, or clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles tells us, whatever we have empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God, the universe, source, whatever you want to put in if God doesn't sit you well, to enter, to surrender, and that feels dense to the divine. Loosening your grip doesn't mean that what you're clinging to will go away. It may, or it might stay, but you can be sure that what it is for you will find you, and you'll breathe easier knowing that you're shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. I remember it, someone saying that if you let go of something first, let it go, it might come back if it is meant to be in your life again. And if it never comes back, it means that it's not meant to be here with you anymore, something along these lines. I don't remember exactly what it was again, the saying. So now to the last oracle deck, the Rose Oracle. Let's see what last things you need to focus on, or any other additional messages. What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? Is there anything else that pile number 3 needs to focus on right now? Is there anything else that pile number 3 needs to focus on? Is there any messages for pile number 3 that they should know about now? Is there anything else that pile number 3 should focus on right now? Give me at least one card, please, so that every group has every card from every deck. What does pile... yeah. What does pile number 3 need to focus on right now? Is there anything that pile number 3 needs to focus on right now? Is there anything you want to say to pile number 3, Spirit, please? What is it that pile number 3 needs to focus on right now? What do they need? I don't think that there is anything. Okay. So your card is Brothers of the Rose. Sacred masculine, honor, protection, support. Oh, funny. Pile number 2 got sacred feminine. So you may be the exact opposite of pile number 2. I have to be sincere. This deck is new to Rose Oracle, so I am not familiar with all cards, and this card I never got for any of my self-readings. Brothers of the Rose. This is a card of the sacred masculine. Like the feminine, the sacred masculine exists within each one of us, and together we're all being called to balance both energies within us, the sun and the moon, solar and lunar. Perhaps this is what it means to birth a new world. The sacred mature masculine is something so needed in our world. It's the part of us that lives in deep honor and reverence of the feminine. It recognizes the goddess within all of life, including the earth, and is committed to protecting and living in devotion to the feminine. The sacred masculine knows that striving and overpowering, enduring and conquering are not helpful. The sacred masculine is strong and tender, protective but not defensive. This card could be a sign that you're being called to work on the sacred masculine energy within you that's maturing and rising. It could be that you're being called to work on ancestral healing of the paternal line. Could be an indication that you're being called to invoke or acknowledge the sacred masculine in those around you, or it could represent the sacred masculine appearing in your life. The sacred masculine exists within all of us. They are encircling you so that you can do your sacred work, so that you can be part of the return to the goddess on this earth. The rose is their emblem, and they wear it proudly on their hearts. Soul inquiry is always something that you can meditate upon and think about. How are you being called to work with the sacred masculine? From what I know, the masculine energy or the yang energy is the energy that takes action on doing the things that need to be done so that they can come into your life, like working hard to achieve the goals for work, projects or something like this. And the masculine energy is really overpowered currently on earth, because people are working, not taking breaks when they need to, like they are overworking themselves. And people say that when you take a break or are lazing around, even if it's not lazing because you need to recharge your energy, they say that you are lazy, that you don't do anything, and so they shame, guilt trip us into working, and this is not helping at all. There needs to be a fine balance into working and also into just being and receiving, and yin energy, the feminine energy. So maybe this is something that you need to work on, and it came again, the ancestral patterns that maybe need to be healed. So your pile is the focus on is healing, learning, and getting out of things that are not serving you anymore. And with this we go now to the light is the new black, to see if there is anything else that you need to focus on. I put the intention to receive any messages for group number 3, for what they need to focus on right now, for the highest good and harm to none. Anything else that pile number 3 needs to focus on. So wherever I will stop by is what message you need to hear right now. Here. This is Rebecca Campbell, by the way, saying, what I thought was rock bottom. By the time 2011 came along, it felt like my life was held together by a single thread, and at any moment the whole tower would come crashing down. Originally from Australia, I just achieved my long-term career ambition of becoming the creative director of a London advertising agency by the age of 30. But the moment I got it, I felt nothing. Isn't this what I had worked so hard for? Why I had sacrificed so much? Overnight, I knew that my career no longer fitted my soul. My relationship of over 10 years was on its last legs, but I refused to admit it. Matt and I had met at university. Creative, sensitive, and hilarious, his cool nonchalance was ridiculously attractive, and I fell for him immediately. The first couple of years were wonderful, but as time went on, we became more and more entangled and more stuck. Matt had been suffering from chronic depression for several years. Living in London, far away from the support of our respective families, we ignored the reality of the situation. I refused to admit that things were broken, throwing myself into 1,000,001 ways to fix it, rather than surrender and accept. My gift of seeing the potential in people wasn't serving either of us one bit. The worse everything seemed to get, the harder I tried to hold it all together. The harder I tried to hold it all together, the more I ignored the callings of my soul. The more I ignored the callings of my soul, the more out of flow with the universe I got. The more out of flow with the universe I got, the more alone I felt. I hadn't felt real joy in my heart for years, but the thought of not being with Matt was too hard to bear. We loved each other with every ounce of our hearts, but in truth we had become best friends more than life partners. With every day I felt more trapped and stuck in a life that I had worked so hard to create. The thought of saying goodbye to the one person who had been by my side through my entire adult life was too hard to comprehend. I was petrified of being alone and of nothing coming in to take its place. My external world wasn't in alignment with my internal one. I was way out of flow with the universe. I knew my soul was calling me to make a massive career change, to follow my passion for spiritual development, intuition, and the journey of the soul. But I was petrified of coming out of the spiritual closet and turning my back on the great career and network I had worked so hard to create. I began waking up at 3:13 a.m. each night, drenched in sweat, unable to catch my breath. Alone in bed, I could hear Matt down the hall, still on his computer. My loneliness was palpable. Sometimes I would get onto my hands and knees and just stop begging God to miraculously get me out of there because I lacked the courage to do it myself. Yeah. Maybe you are going through something similar that Rebecca mentioned here, and her tip was to surrender and accept it, and maybe ask if you can't loosen your grip, to ask God, the universe, or your spiritual team to help you get out of it if you don't have the courage to do it alone. So now, the last book, Letters to a Starseed. I put the intention into this book to receive any messages for pile number 3 for what they need to focus on right now, or any other messages that will be helpful for pile number 3 for whatever they are going through right now. So like with the first one, wherever I will stop, it's what you need to hear. Okay. Soul agreements and the crossing of paths. Soul agreements are that's a difficult word for me to pronounce. Let me predetermined. Whoa. Okay, again. Soul agreements are predetermined arrangements or contracts made between two souls to do something in a particular life, and sometimes they can carry over from lifetime to lifetime. Soul agreements generally occur between souls that have a karmic history with one another and have some kind of karmic match. These agreements could be to support each other on personal soul missions or on a shared collective soul mission, or as a way of working things out karmically between the two. Once the meeting happens, something is awoken in both parties. As with everything in this world, free will always reigns, and so it does require that a conscious choice be made. When we are arranging the details of incarnation, it's common to make agreements with other souls who will be incarnating with. These agreements are in a way contracts between two or more souls. A soul agreement could be based on a karmic connection that's resulted from prior incarnations. It could be one that's mutually beneficial to help two souls in their life lessons or soul missions, or it could be based on the connection between the souls, for example, a member of your soul family, who you choose to help on their soul mission by playing a role to support the destiny of their life. Soul agreements are as diverse as life lessons. A soul agreement could be made between two souls, several souls, or even groups of souls like a large institution. An example of a soul agreement could be one between a teacher and a student, and within that relationship could be several soul agreements. The relationship could help the student to find a path and accept a personal and collective soul mission, and it could also help them grow through positive or difficult experiences. Other soul agreements can exist between friends or family members, work colleagues, or even neighbors. For example, you may be born into a family that's been incapable of moving past a particular way of being, and you may have made a soul agreement with these family members to teach them how to do that. And through the challenge of doing so, you may be honing your own soul gift of doing just that. This crafting of your soul gift may be the initiation required for you to realize and step onto the path of your own soul's mission. A soul agreement between a large group of people might consist of changing a system that requires many players to do so. The souls come together and play their part in this happening. Relationships are one of the most incredible and complex parts of the human experience, and as a result, they're the number one way we grow. If you're living a life with an open heart, you can bypass the highs and lows of relationship in this life. It's my belief that it's impossible to get through life without some kind of difficulty with relationships. And because relationships are the number one way we grow, they're not meant to be all smooth sailing. Indeed, those who are closest to you are potentially most connected to you from a soul perspective, could end up being the ones who hurt you the most. And it's the moment that cracks us open the most that teach us the most. The opportunity is always, how do I grow and learn more through this? How do I let this pain stretch me and my heart open even more so that I can hold even more love in my heart? With life on earth hurts, and it's absolutely exquisite. What a journey we're on here. What a journey we're on here. Sorry, I butchered that. Soul inquiry, something that you can meditate on, think about. Look at the timeline of your life. Who has influenced you the most? Who do you think you may have had a soul agreement with? What do you feel this agreement might have been? Here you can see the questions if you need to. What I feel is that you are maybe going through a hard time, and I want just to say that it is okay to go through it and feel all those feelings when you're sad or upset. And I feel that I need to say that you are not going through this alone. Everyone is going through something similar or a bit different, because everyone has their unique path. But just know that I am here for you, and I always will be here to support you in your way, whatever you decide on to do. You can always come back here and listen to my my things, my stories, or hear how I butcher the words in English. So just feel that you are being held from me. I'm giving you an online hug. So thank you for being here with me today. I see you in the next video, part 3. Bye!